What the heck is a foot doing there? Yeah, going to show you how to remove your foot off your KYB suspension. Oh, son of a nutcracker. Okay, we're going to show how to remove the foot here off the KYB suspension. It is just a great big thread that's on there. Here you can see on a 4CS, it's just a thread that's on there, but it's put on there with permanent Loctite. And the way to remove permanent Loctite is actually heat that up. The other thing about the KYB fork versus the WP fork is that it has, I think it's got a set screw that's holding it on, also known as a grub screw. Anyways, we'll get to that right now. Well, here's the tools that we'll need to remove this foot. Number one is some kind of fork stanchion tube holder. We're going to be, once we heat this up, we're going to be cranking it with a great big wrench to take it off. And so I made these. If you want, and you got access to a metal lathe, take a look at my other videos where I made those up. The second thing you'll need is a big honking wrench. So I'm just using a big pipe wrench, but I don't want it to muck up the foot here. So I put a nice leather welding glove over top of that when I turn it. And then I can turn it. Once I get it loosened, I can do that. The other thing too is that I'm just going to kind of come in close into this. That is the set screw or grub screw that is right on top of those threads underneath there. And the problem is, and it's hard to see, I don't know how close I can get. Let me see how close I can get in here. See if it'll do it. No, I don't think so. Anyways, what it is that that's staked on. In other words, you know, they put the set screw in there, and then you can kind of see that cross pattern. They ended up mashing the threads on there and manufacturing to make it a very permanent bond. So that's going to have to come out first. And really the only way to do that is to, like I saw one posting where a company, they milled it in an X shape. I saw another one where a guy drilled it out. So there's, come on, focus. Yeah, so a few different ways to do it. I'm going to take the Dremel to it, and I'm going to do an X shape like those guys did with the milling machine. I could put it on my mill, but yeah, this is just easier to just do it with the Dremel. Anyways, let's get started. Oh, one last tool you'll need a source of heat. So you can use, come on, focus. I'm just going to use a heat gun. This works fine for me, but you can also, of course, use a turbo torch or a acetylene torch or whatever like that. It takes a bunch of heat to heat that foot to break the permanent Loctite. Oh yeah, let's get started. So I decided to try and take a run at it just using my Dremel with, you know, a small little triangular bit. There's a bunch of plastic on there. Ignore that. But I think that might do it for me. I was able to grind off. All right, come on, you can do this. I was able to grind off a lot of that staking marks, and now I'm just really left with a hex head. So I'm going to heat that up a lot. In case it did some Loctite in there, and you know, tap it a little bit to loosen it up and see if I can get it out now. Well, first attempt was a no-go. That sucker, you know, I don't want to strip it, but that sucker is really in there. So I'm just going to continue grinding down some more of that top edge, trying to leave the hex part in there so that, see if it can come out. It's very warm. Well, the second grinding job didn't work. I can't seem to budget at all, so we're going to go and we're going to drill down a little bit and see where we get with that. I'll probably end up having to re-drill the hole and put in a helicoil for when I assemble the fork back together. Bummer. Well, no luck with that. So I've drilled it right down. And I am just at the very tip of the set screws in there, so I just have to probably drill a little tiny hole, and then I should be able to move that out fairly easily. So he says. It's hard to see, but I drilled a little tiny hole on one side of the edge, And the idea is a little bit of a punch or something, and I should be able to start to kind of turn that and twist it out. Well, see how this one goes. I'm getting serious. Well, managed to get it all out. And from the outside, you know, a helicoil will go in there nicely, and then I could put another set screw in there, which is great. It took a lot of different tools. It took, had to do that for a bunch. I got out my chainsaw sharpener grinding bit to get in there. And then I finally ended up with, where it is. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it comes. I put a small end mill in my drill to help clean that out. And to also clean down to the threads on the tube itself. So now she's going to be ready to spin right off here, and we'll take a look to see what the damage is. Well, holy smokes, that sucker, like I got her heated right up, and man, is it hard to get it off. You know, I read this one post where a coating shop, they stuck in a grease nipple, they heated it up, they put it in a grease nipple, and then they pumped it full of high pressure grease just to get grease in there. Yeah, I think I might try something like that on the next one. Holy crap, this is crazy. I got the foot off. That was a lot of work, and it was amazing. Like, I heated the heck out of it, and it was amazing how, like, you know, how stuck on it was. I look at the inside of the foot. I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know if it'll focus very well in there or not. It's trying to. Anyways, it looks like the foot is trashed, which is fine for me because I'm actually converting this. I'm using the externals for 4CS. The threads on the inside there are just tossed completely. The important thing though is that the threads out here are still good, and that's what matters to me the most, is that these threads are good. Anyways, so there it is, one down, one to go. Probably take me another 12 weeks to get to the other one. Be sure to subscribe. I'll put I'll put it up here. We'll put a little button somewhere up there. Click on that and subscribe. Leave your comments. I'm curious to see how has it gone for you with removing the feet off these. WP forks, way easier. Heat them up, turn it off, you're done, right? But these things, wow, something else. All right, bye.